Hey, welcome back to Save State Podcast. First off, we are finally here. We had some technical difficulties. I'm not going to point the finger at any supervillain whose name rhymes with retro and rogue.
Yeah.
I'm not going to point the finger.
You did horrible.
I'm not going to point the finger. What is going on, people here? I am Matt. I'm your digital Jedi. I am joined this week by Mr. Too Loud Tech. What's up, brother?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
I am good. I'm also joined by my arch nemesis, the supervillain, Team Sith Rogue, whatever we're calling him this week. What's up, brother?
My Flow Z13 is working just fine.
I see what we're doing here.
It's terrible.
You let me in.
Yeah. And our very special guest is an awesome dude who I personally have bought a bunch of stuff from and then got to meet him at CES, and we got to talking, and he's funny as hell and he's a lot of fun. So we're like, you got to come on the podcast and pick on Too Loud and Michaela with me. He's like, absolutely. So Mr. Todd from Toddtronics, how are you, brother?
Doing all right. Happy to be here.
Oh my gosh, we're happy to have you, man. So what is going on? What are you guys into this week? What is that? What do you look at this guy flexing already?
Hands turn. Hands turns in the comments trying to be funny, but I bet my hands are holding an apex while his are not.
Oh, ouch. ouch. All right, Todd, what are you into this week? I know you're like a workhorse and you work like 36 hours out of the day. But what you got any time for any gaming, or what are you getting into?
Pokemon Pokopia, out of everything in the world that I could probably be playing right now. And then I have a pretty big setup of retro games behind me. So I've been working my way through Disney Extreme Skateboarding, which is a fun one.
Disney has a skateboarding game?
Okay, so even crazier than that. So around the time that Tony Hawk Pro Skater, someone could correct me if I'm wrong, Pro Skater 4 came out, Disney approached Activision and Neversoft and officially paid to license the entire engine of the game. And so they built their own, basically like Tony Hawk clone, but it's using the official engine, and it's all Disney character based. It's kind of a smaller game. But you can turn the controls from the regular basic controls that they set it up with to the advanced module. And when you have the advanced controls on, it plays 100% like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, which is pretty crazy. And it has like a 10 out of 10 soundtrack. Like if you pull up the soundtrack on Spotify, obviously you can't play it because we'll get a copyright strike, but you can just glance through the tracks that are on there.
That's
it is
kind of cool,
so
man.
good.
It's pretty cool. I hadn't thought about that. That is pretty awesome, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want to get back to that collection of stuff you got in the background there, because that looks freaking cool. And I wasn't an N64 kid, right? I don't know. I just kind of skipped that era. I missed it and I regret it. I know my brother was into it, but I want to get back to that. Mr. Mikhailov, Mr. Team Retro, you playing, what is that, Pokopia? Is that how it's pronounced?
I am totally playing Pokopia right now.
So you guys, because I got all you guys here, right? So Todd, I don't know if you know, but these guys know I'm not a Pokemon person. I am an Animal Crossing person, and the reference that the people are saying is that it's like a mash of both. So I'm like kind of torn. Okay, I'm getting a finger. What's going on?
I'm going to interject. So if anybody in here in chat or maybe even in the pod has ever owned a PlayStation Vita, one of the funnest games to play on the Vita was Dragon Quest Builders. And Dragon Quest Builders is kind of a blend of Minecraft meets sort of like an Animal Crossing, but it's been around, since the Vita days. It's been quite a while. And Koei Tecmo, who made those games, actually made this game. So in a lot of ways, Koei Tecmo realized Dragon Quest is not resonating with a widespread audience like the West. And so they basically reskinned Dragon Quest Builders 3 into Pokopia, which is honestly fantastic because it makes it more fun if you like Pokemon. It makes it a little more intuitive to think like, oh, these Pokemon would most likely help me achieve certain things. You know what I mean? I.e. like Squirtle's gonna help you water crops, or like Bulbasaur will help you grow flowers or something like that. So it's kind of in a way like Dragon Quest Builders 3.
Oh crap! Spoilers.
Mixed with Pokemon, which is super cool.
So, and you guys, Too Loud, are you playing this too or no? Are you playing?
I haven't had time. I own it, but I have not opened it.
Oh, dang. So like with you guys, and maybe not Too Loud because he had a chance to play, like me not knowing anything about Pokemon or not playing it. So where's the like? Is this a draw for me? I mean, is this something I'd be interested in? Because I did play Dragon Quest Builders briefly, not a ton, but I have tried it out and I did have fun with it. So, like, is this something I should get? I mean, I'll get it because I'm impulsive and my kids will play it, but I was just curious what you guys thought. Like, you know,
it's addictive. Once you get started, you will not want to stop.
Really? I think the charm and the initial lure for people is going to be Pokemon, but it's like Mikhailov said, it's the gameplay loop, right? There's always something you can improve and do, so there's always like more to grab. It does use RTC, so if you're somebody who is annoyed by that, I mean, there's ways around it. You can do what's essentially called time traveling, which is where you stop syncing your Switch with an online clock, and you can advance time because certain tasks will only be completed like the following real life day. So like if you start building a certain hut, you have to wait till the next day till it's ready. So they kind of drip feed you. Yeah, and some people are totally against that. So it's one of those things. But I really, really enjoy Dragon Quest Builders, and I was kind of craving something like that. My wife, if I could flip this camera around, maybe I'll do it at the end of the stream when I don't need to set it back up. But my wife is a massive Pokemon collector. And when I say collector of Pokemon, I don't mean just like the trading cards. Like I have movie promo posters for the original movies. I have standees from McDonald's. I have it. So her collecting of Pokemon transcends like trading card, like excitement and hype. It's crazy. Actually, for Christmas, right behind me, I'll definitely have to show this now that I've mentioned it, but I'll do it at the end of the pod. I bought her a unused, brand new Pikachu Japanese N64. Still has the original plastics, the twist ties.
Yeah.
Sweet. I won it in an auction for really cheap, and I was convinced I was going to get scammed.
Hell yeah.
And by cheap, I mean $500, but
I mean, that's cheap.
That's cheap for that, exactly. For me, it's an investment. If we needed money, it could be gone in 5 seconds for what I paid.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Mikhailov, you got this going, but we saw before the podcast, you got a ton of cool stuff today.
I did.
What's your favorite?
Hold on, guys. Before we get into that, I just want to speak for a minute because the reason we were late was because of me. And I just want to say, dude, I hate Asus for using MediaTek chip in here for Wi-Fi Bluetooth. Like, I don't understand. I mean, I do understand cut costs, right? MediaTek chips for Wi-Fi Bluetooth are notoriously horrible. And all of a sudden now I'm getting in today. I use my Z13 for the podcast, guys. And all of a sudden I don't have Bluetooth, which means I don't have a mouse. I also don't have earbuds. So now I have to go. Mind you, I just moved into the studio. A lot of my stuff for the studio is still packed up in boxes. I have to run outside into the garage to dig through boxes to try to find a wired headset. Like, what a crap show, dude. And then I used Droid Cam for my camera, and I couldn't get Droid Cam to connect to OBS. And it's like, what's going on here, dude? So, yeah, it was fun, but I just wanted everybody in the chat to understand why we were so late today. I know occasionally we're late because I run on island time, but, today was a little bit more dragged out than normal, so I apologize
I think
for
we were
that.
good if you let me blame Mikhailov. I think we were good with that. I think everybody accepted that, bro.
No, I wasn't gonna give that to him. I like to wear my own problems. So I'm cool.
It's funny you say that because I remember, gosh, it was probably a year and a half ago or so. I built my first like dedicated PC for the living room, and I put Bazite on it because I wanted it to be super easy to use with a controller, as one does. And I remember for whatever reason, I could not get Bluetooth to work, and Wi-Fi would work very intermittently, and I could not figure out what the issue was. I remember I probably hit up Mikhailov. I hit up everybody in all of the Discords. I called, ETA Prime, and I was like, "What's wrong?" I called everybody I could. I hit up Russ, and I eventually, like, I was talking to some of the developers for Bazite on Twitter. They were giving me all these different things to try to do, and nothing was working. And at the end of the day, I felt like such an idiot. It was just the very particular MediaTek chip that mini PC had, zero Linux support.
Oh.
But the good thing is it wasn't soldered on. It was in a PCIe like little mini express slot, so I could just throw it in the bin. Bought an Intel Wi-Fi card for $15.
I'm hoping it's the same on these, dude.
Problem solved. Yeah, it was a very quick fix, but it was a very big headache in the meantime.
Jay Powell, thank you, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Some of you guys let us know like our mics are not great, or we're having issues with audio or this or that, and we take that to heart, dude. So both me and Matt, like all of last week since our last episode, we're like hunting down different equipment. Literally, I bought a Vocaster audio interface, and in case the Vocaster didn't sound good enough, I also bought the Shure USB to XLR interface. Like, I was like, dude, I'm gonna just buy whatever, figure out what works, and then you guys, it matters to us that you have good listening quality. So if there's something, we're not the type of creators that's gonna get hurt and bothered by you telling us like, hey, fix this or fix that. Let us know so that we can make it better. So yeah, thank you. I'm happy to know it sounds better.
If you think we need to blur Too Loud out because he's too ugly, tell us. I got you. But as far as audio, he
probably
right.
should do that.
We spent an hour on a call, like the four of us the other day, and my wife's teasing me, "You guys are nerds. I can't believe you're talking about microphones for an hour." And I bought a new mic, and I bought a new the Vocaster one as well, and it does matter to us. You guys' feedback means everything to us, so please keep it up.
I can tell you too, as a content creator, there is no better feeling than getting a mic and it just sounds perfect.
I know. Yeah, see, bro, I love Derek. Derek, I got you, bro. I got you. Let me figure out how to blur him, and I got you.
Yeah, no, I'm down for the blur too, guys. I ain't gonna lie, because that means I really don't even have to be here. I could just put a mannequin here with like some kind of walkie-talkie.
We're just gonna get you some. We're just gonna get you some posters behind you. You look like you're like in the corner of a jail cell right now.
Yeah. Oh,
this is your visitation rights.
Yeah, so dude, I ain't gonna lie, I've been so occupied also too right now, spring break for the children. I got 5 kids, so I don't have that much time, but I'm about to paint these walls black and put acoustic soundboard up, and so I have a bunch of stuff to do in here.
Have your kids help you, bro?
Haven't had time. No, I'll have them help you. I'll send them over there to your house.
That's fine.
That's cool. I got you.
Michaela, what's your favorite thing you got today? What's the favorite thing you play? Because you got a whole box of stuff. I want to know what's the favorite thing you got today.
Well, let's just start with the fact that like controller's not working on this thing for some reason.
Oh, that makes it your favorite for sure.
That's your favorite,
right? No, the controller's not working.
When you say controller, you mean the whole control set or a certain button?
Sticks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, nothing. I get these. I get these buttons.
Try in the center M. I think there's an option to turn off the controller altogether. In the back end of center M, I think there was. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it was center M that gives you that option.
There was.
H said it's the claw. What do you expect?
Fair. That actually is very fair.
Oh, dude.
All right. So while you're doing
that, you want to know the favorite thing that I got?
Yeah. The coolest thing you got
behind me right here. Yeah, Nelly will fix it.
What, a Brazilian butt lift?
Oh.
He said it was behind him, so I was just.
What?
I don't know what you did with your time today, dude.
Yes.
But this claw.
100% approved. Yes. I love it.
That is the gem out of the stack.
This is the claw.
Yes.
I'm not getting an Apex. There's no way, H.
Look,
why, dude?
Nelly will fix it by telling you to get Apex. That's all we're getting.
Bro, I mean, you sell all those claws and you'll buy an Apex for sure.
He'll
buy
Apex now? He'll buy a stick from the Apex. $2,000.
Starting at $2,000, I think.
Yeah.
Starting at $2,000. Let's just take a minute. Let's just take a minute and absorb that. Starting.
Big battery pack on the back. Backpack.
How are the plastics on the shell on the retail units? Are they super like oil grabby still?
No, I've never had a problem with claw plastics.
Not the claw, the Apex.
I think he's talking about the cooler device in the room, bro.
You mean the A8?
Definitely not that contoured monster.
This thing?
That thing looks like, I don't know what MSI was doing, bro. That thing looks like a Gen 1 handheld. Like, I don't understand why they went backwards.
It was a step back. Everything, the ergonomics, the experience was just a step back. I didn't like it. Todd, do you have any x86s? You have a Steam Deck, right?
I have cut down so much on x86 stuff. So yeah, I am down to my Steam Deck OLED. And I don't know. I might have like an ROG Ally somewhere in a box, somewhere in the closet.
Nice. Okay.
But I couldn't do the screen. Like I couldn't do the screen on the Ally. I wasn't a big fan. For me for most of the games that I play, the OLED is enough. So yeah, I don't usually go for much more than that.
If it fits your needs, man. We've been talking about this and kind of going in that direction. We're doing a lot of talk about stuff that's right and not just, it doesn't have to necessarily be the newest or the best. It's like if the OLED Steam Deck is all you need, then that's all you need, right? I mean, even as even as reviewers or content creators in this thing, and we're thinking that, I mean, just imagine who people are just looking for a one and done and stuff. So there's interesting there. I think the original, I think Michaela's going to have my back here, the Xbox Ally, the non-X, I think it's going to have I think it's going to have a lot of merit now that the Steam Deck is that they stopped making the LCD and the OLED is unavailable.
Just
I think
gone.
I'm thinking, and we have a Best Buy outlet here. So I think and I was there a week or two ago. I was showing Too Loud tons of Allies. And I know, when we talk about this before time, Todd, that screen is kind of a deal breaker because we're kind of tired of that screen. I know Too Loud hates that screen on that thing. So but I mean, there might be some merit to it, $450, you know what I mean?
The screen
it's UI elements. The UI elements in a lot of games are just a little too small. And then when they're small in combination to that, like, weird textured coding, like, it just for me it causes like a lot of eye fatigue. It's not even so much that I can't see what's happening, it's just like reading text and icons, it just doesn't feel super great. And most of the games
go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say most of the games that I play, like if I'm playing on a handheld, for the most part aren't super like games that I want to sit down and play for like hours anyway. So I'm usually in and out of like roguelites and stuff like that. And I found that if I do want to play a game for a long time, then having a bigger screen is definitely better. I had the Z1E Legion Go S, and for me, I think that's probably, if it weren't for the price of it, like the best like ergonomics, the best performance, the best screen. Like, it's a really good package. It's just a shame that it's priced a little too high.
It's a fantastic all-rounder, and actually, I would, even at the price point, I would still recommend it.
That's your favorite, isn't it, Michaela?
It is my favorite. Let's just a little bit of perspective here. This costs as much as the Z1E at Best Buy right now, as the Z1E Go S.
That's pretty crazy.
It's literally like $750 for
that's the 250
a 2-year-old
7-inch.
No, this is the 155H.
The 155H.
You can't get
$700?
You can't get the 280V
7
7 inches anymore. They're gone.
No, heck.
I saw one in a Target clearance bin one time, but it wasn't discounted enough for anyone to jump on it. It was like $70 off.
You can't even find this in the US right now. They're sold out at Best Buy.
I wasn't a fan of it.
Handstern said you guys can't see 2.8-inch screens.
Oh my god!
See, the difference is
absolutely not.
It depends on what I'm playing, right? Like, I'm not going to play like a PlayStation 1 game on a 2.8-inch screen, but like a GBA game, like everything is proportionally scaled. Like the sprites, the icons, whatever, they're proportionally scaled to be viewed on a smaller screen. So it kind of
Yeah.
it sounds weird to say like, oh, I need my handheld to have the biggest screen possible, but it's more just tailored to the types of experiences. You know what I mean? Like even like 3D like Dreamcast game stuff, they expected you to be playing that on a CRT, and most people's TVs back then weren't bigger than 25 inches. So icons are scaled accordingly. So it's a little different.
That's interesting. And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, well, I play games on small screens, but like, so right now, and this is Tulaw's fault. I'm back on the Mii Flip. This is a V1 Mii Flip because of how quiet it is, right? And I was like, I've been playing this thing a lot, right? And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I've actually only been playing TurboGrafx 16 on it, and it makes sense what you're saying, right? Because those are designed for smaller sprites and stuff like that. That's really interesting. You guys, am I?
You should get one of these instead.
Oh, is that the
34XX?
That's a 34. I have a 34XX, bro.
That's the SP model, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those over there. I have it in purple. Did you guys play TurboGrafx 16?
Yes.
Not as a kid, no.
Not a lot.
Did you play that, or is that before your time, Tula? No, you played. Okay. I'm freaking.
No, I didn't play that. I'm sorry. I'm looking for the Bluetooth, and this thing's driving me crazy, bro.
No worries. So you guys never play Splatterhouse?
I played Splatterhouse.
Splatterhouse is fun. I've been playing that a lot lately. That, and I'm always going back to Airzone because I love like space shooters and stuff.
You would like a
Blazing
game called
Lasers.
Splatterhouse.
There's
Devil's Crush. What?
There's 2 TurboGrafx Expresses.
Hey, I love it, but
my buddy runs
You're a spirit animal, bro.
What?
I said, I love you. You're my spirit animal, dude.
Oh, because I said
time, bro.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Oh.
Jerks. Oh, did you have
joke grenade.
There's 2 TurboGrafx Expresses at my buddy's local game store, and I have a lot of credit that I'm sitting on over there, and I just keep telling myself not to buy it because I'm scared, because I know that collecting those games is going to burn a huge hole in my wallet. So it's just like one of those things.
They're fun. And if you guys, well, first off, in the live chat, if you guys aren't familiar with Todd is a beast with the retro stuff. You should check out his channel. He's got some amazing stuff there. So definitely check it out. So him, looking at TurboGrafx 16 is right on, I guess, right on par for him, right? Because he's got this incredible like collection of stuff, and you get, the dude's a beast. You should watch his content if you're not watching it. If you're gonna get one, definitely get Airzonk, get Devil's Crush, and Blazing Lasers is another dope one. There's a bunch of great games there. I think they're super slept on. My favorite, Rondo of Blood for Castlevania, was the TurboGrafx.
Okay, I'll give you
version.
Rondo of Blood. That's actually very good. That is a very good game, and it's not available on very many systems.
Yeah. So it's a good game. I don't know. We'll see. Selfish just popped in. What's up, Selfish? He said that he's been playing Crimson Desert. You guys want to talk about Crimson Desert? Do you see the reviews on it? We're so excited about it, and the reviews are not like hot after a day. They're not looking so good at all. People are saying it's kind of rough, and it's probably gonna need a lot of optimization and stuff. Were you guys thinking about picking that up or what?
I am not planning on it. I've got way too much of a backlog right now. Pokopia.
I pre-ordered it. It's probably downloaded right now, but again, just no time.
Did you do it on Steam or no?
Yeah.
So you got the 2 hours to return it if it does stink like people are saying.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to return it. I'm going to keep it. I think it's going to be a good title for reviews, for just showcasing performance on devices. So
yeah, that's true. It may sit standard. We'll see how it is. I mean, I thought it was interesting. Real quick.
For me, usually if I'm on the fence on a game, like really not sure, because the thing is like marketing materials and stuff like that don't always really sell a game for what it really is. I have a few buddies that like to stream. It's not something that I've ever been like super fun or fond of doing myself. Like I don't like to stream games or whatever, but I'll pop in and I'll watch and kind of gauge their experience and their fun and kind of get to see like a gameplay loop. Like what are you going to be doing in this game? Because it's not something where I'm super worried about like spoilers or anything like that. So it's just like take some time to see it for what it is. That's what I did with Arc Raiders, and I knew that was going to be like a game that would hook me. So then after watching someone play it for an hour, I was like, yeah, I could see myself doing this. So then I bought the game, and I love it. It's just one of those things. But that's usually when I'm on the fence. So tonight, probably before bed, I'll scroll a couple streams and see if anyone's playing and just kind of gauge the overall like look and the loop and see what it's all like.
It's interesting. I think I'm kind of on the fence about that because I do like the idea of checking out a game because I don't want. That's why I love Game Pass. I know we talked about this earlier. You're not a fan of it, but because I don't want to get a game and it stink and then have to worry about returning and waiting for Steam to give me the money and that kind of stuff. So I kind of like that. But also, I'm not opposed to like I don't know, maybe like a Destiny type game, like like a what do you call those
games as a service, like a gas game?
I'm not opposed to watching video on that, but like a single player campaign with a story that's just like the main focus. I don't know if I could want to watch somebody stream playing it. Like I love watching Game Tech Talk Clef's streams, but he was doing like a Resident Evil Requiem thing, and I didn't want to watch it because I want to play that game. So those kind of the ones that I'm kind of iffy about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing. It's just like, how sensitive are you to spoilers? Like for me, I can go into a game knowing some of what's going to happen, like maybe first 2-3 hours, and it'll give me an idea of like the tone of a game. Because a lot of the time for me, I can overcome my feelings about a game if I get pulled in by something, either it be like the story or the atmosphere. And you don't always have to watch something super long to kind of get an idea of where something's going. Mm-hmm. I see that Selfish said in the chat that it has about an 8-hour tutorial. I would argue that a lot of the Final Fantasy games that I love are kind of the same way. So that doesn't necessarily turn me off. If anything, it kind of makes me feel like it has time to build into something. So I don't know.
As long as it's fun, right? I mean, tutorial or not, as long as it's fun. I get that.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. It's like your mileage may vary just based on what happens, because it's a pretty open-ended game from my understanding. So what happens to you when you're playing that game may be the determining factor on how much fun you're having. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, interesting. We'll see. I think I'm going to wait on getting it a little bit. And I still have Humble's, Steam Spring Sale, like you and Team Richard would tell me earlier. There's a bunch of stuff there I'm going to check out. Humble Bundle. I don't know if it's still going, but it had a really awesome Metroidvania sale, and I always jump all over those. Too Loud has me obsessed with buying all the Metroidvania games I can buy. So
that is my second favorite genre of game. So I mean, can't hate on that for you,
Nope, we'll love it. I love it. So I might wait and see what the reviews are, and maybe get it eventually. But it's just been the hot thing that everybody's been talking about. So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the good thing is, if it remains unpopular for a long time, then it'll inevitably go on sale for really cheap, and then you can have a low risk way to experience it.
Speaking of Dragon Quest builders, I was just thinking about it. He's talking about Dragon Quest builders and the Vita. Did you guys see the Ambernick release the information, the release date and the pricing on the Rg Vita?
Yeah.
Michaela, how many of these are you buying, buddy? You're muted.
He's just salivating over there.
Yeah, he can't help it. He's so excited. Uh-oh. Got no sound. Is it me or just him, Todd?
I don't hear anything.
All right.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I've burnt myself out with Ambernicks over the last 3 years. I think the pricing is good, but not great, just because the bar is so weird right now with handhelds, right? Like for $100 to $140, there are a lot of better options. There are a ton of better options. So it feels like they're trying to play on the nostalgia, the form factor, the Vita, the name, and all that stuff, but they're not really delivering something that would be, even to go so far as to call it the Vita Pro. And with those specs, it's not pulling me in.
It's tough. I think it's very cool, and I agree. Price point, I don't know if it's there. I think it's so the early bird for the regular Vita is $99, and it's a T618, which is what, a 4-year-old chipset now at this point?
I mean, in handhelds, yeah, it's even older in actuality. But you know what's funny is you say that it's the T618.
618.
My
yeah.
brain has been so on like T820 mode for the last year that I thought it was a T820, even though I was reading T618. And so when I was like, oh, a T820 device for $100, you know, that's pretty good. But I'm like, in my mind, why are people struggling so bad to play Vita? And then it was just one of those things that I glossed over. And then as soon as it kind of dawned on me that it was a T618 and not a T820, I was like, oh, this is just them finding a bargain bin of RG 505 parts. And they're like, well, we were selling RG 505s for around 100 and something bucks. If we just pulled the Vita name out of the hat, you know what I mean? It's probably just their attempt at getting rid of the rest of that dead stock. They might even, I could be really far-fetched in this, but I wouldn't put it past them. They could be pulling apart 505 dead stock and making these things, you know? It's just one of those things.
I'm curious to see and if they did that, why didn't they put a better screen? Because the regular Vita is a 720 screen. 505 has a gig extra of RAM. It's got 4 gigs of RAM, and it's got an OLED. It's not a spectacular OLED, but it's still an OLED. It's still a better screen, you know, this thing here. So I'm curious, they could have just reshelled the 505 and sold that, right? So there's something different here. I'm not sure what their train of thought is. The other one now, the Pro, it's got, what is it, the 3672 or 3568 or some other chipset is a slightly more powerful, but it runs dual OS, so you can get it with Rocknix, which I'm kind of, or Arc or whatever it is that they put on there, which is I'm kind of digging again. But we're looking at $140 or $40 early bird. I don't feel like that's a price point that's going to make this device successful. I don't know. I'm not.
No, and like Ace said, it's a gap filler for them. They're cooking something. They need some time. They, as a company, cannot allow themselves to operate without a release every like 36 minutes. So this was easy for them. It's Selfish made a good point. He said at least the 505 uses the Vita screen, which as somebody who, I love the Vita for what it is, that screen has definitely aged out for numerous reasons. It has, uneven brightness across the panel. It has not overall good brightness, i.e., other things. But low resolution, I guess you could say, is another one.
It's interesting.
Could have been worse. It could have been another H700 device. So the thing is, I had a lot of fun with the H700s because for the price of all of the H700 chips, at least at the time, they were pretty reasonable. So it was like picking a flavor. Like you knew exactly what you were going to get, and you were just trying to figure out what trade-offs you want. Like this is so easy to just throw in your pocket. So if you want to pay a little bit more for that convenience, then this is the one for you. They all, had HDMI out. Like I think for what they were, the H700, even though it was probably getting really tired for a lot of people, it was a fun time because you knew exactly performative-wise what you were getting. And the most exciting part was just seeing the form factor. I mean, the original SP, like to think that they made the original SP before this one, I'm not going to go dig my other one out. Obviously, anyone that follows my channels knows that I was a big fan of that. I got every colorway. I used to have them up on display in the studio.
I've seen that, yep.
And then to see them iterate on that and go a step further and make this one, which was, slimmer. The buttons feel like 50 times better. The thumbsticks, I mean, you could take it or leave it. They're cool that they're there. I mean, they definitely function. They're not the worst things in the world, but for me, the H700 was more of the fun, exciting stuff because we knew when we got a device that another one was going to follow like rather quickly. And we knew it was going to be this chipset. And it was just like, what are they going to do? Like I like the Cube.
I kind of missed what Amber did in 2024 because I thought 2025 was kind of boring for them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean... And then it felt like every time that they tried to step into the premium realm, there was always there was a good value proposition with whatever they were making, but there was always like a misstep. Like, for example, like this device right here. I love this thing to pieces. But man, if this just could have been a Snapdragon chip for around the same price, the compatibility and the price to performance would have been so much better. this is technically like more powerful than like an 865, but like with driver support and things like that, it just, even some games like that should perform better just don't. Or even like native Android games. Some native Android games suffer from the fact that it's not like a Snapdragon chip, and it just feels like a weird misstep. I would even like have paid $10 more or something to get that 865 in there, and it's just one of those things where it doesn't seem like they fully think that they can, because they could take advantage of a lot of the existing work. You know what I mean? Right, there are a lot of people. I have friends that despise picking up any handheld that has Android on it. They would kill for something that just out the box has enough power for what they want to play, but they can play, they can throw Linux on it from day one, like Rocknix or something. And Ambernick, thinking a little more clearly about, all of the possible audiences for their stuff. I mean, they know how to market. They like marketing more than some of the other companies in the space. If they were smart, they would do stuff like that. But it's just, yeah.
I think I was just reading H's comment. I think it's right. If they did do that, then you wouldn't buy the next one, the next device that comes out next month, right? Because I'm the chump that bought every single one. In fact, you're talking about the 35X XSP. I'm pretty sure I got mine from you. I'm pretty sure
you probably did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. So, but I mean, I think that there's some merit to that, because they were killing us with these devices, and now they've kind of been slowed down. I don't know. I'm not sure. And then as far as the Vita, the Rg Vita, I'm just not sure. I think this is one I'm gonna skip. I'm not feeling it. I am not feeling it. Did you see the other one that's popping around everywhere that people are talking about? Let me see if I get this up on screen so we can check it out.
Oh, the slide. Yeah, that's in the show notes.
Yeah. See, I thought that was pretty cool.
It's cool, but for it to do what they need it to do, it has to be Android. And I'm starting to fall into that camp where I don't mind it being there, because it is somewhat at the forefront of some of the development that happens. It's a little easier onboarding for some people.
Right.
But the moment that I feel like I'm interacting every time with like the Google Play Store and services, and like it takes away the console feel for me. So the first thing I have to do is, get ESD up on there, or like start like consoleizing the handheld. And for me, I'm a little like less enthusiastic with everything being like locked into Android these days, especially with what we know what's coming down the road with Android in the not so far future.
I'm very interested to see how that impacts us. I mean, as far as you're talking in reference to them locking out the software.
Yeah.
With a device like this, and I know I'm jumping in after having some technical difficulties. I try not to focus on what it can't do, and kind of focus on what it can do. And it's honestly, if they didn't market this as a Vita, it would be a fairly decent device.
That's the Pro, right? The one you have, or is it, right?
This is not the Pro. This is the base.
Oh, okay. So how are you playing Ball Pit?
Android version.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. It's Android. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, and that's a really good point, right? Taking the device for what it is, right? Considering, and the name isn't back and hurts it a little bit, but
the name hurts it. The existence of the Msi Air X hurts it.
That's another great point, because just back to what Todd was saying about
Msi Air Snapdragon.
X, it's a Snapdragon, and you got support for that, right? So there's
right.
And to another point, to what Todd's saying, the way it looks like, with Rocknix and stuff, and there's a good chance we may end up seeing Linux available for some of these devices, and especially the Msi Air X. So there's a potential there to make it even better for those people, because I was on that board, that team for a while for Linux, and I would like to see Rocknix on the Msi Air X, because I think it would make an amazing Portmaster device.
I think so too, and it's already come out for so many devices right now that if it's running a Snapdragon, the chance of Rocknix is pretty darn good.
So I really like to see that. I'm curious to see. So what's your take on this? Is this worth the $99 or the $110 that we're going to see?
At $99, I think this is decent.
Okay.
I
Will you
think
take
it's
this
that.
over the Chimui Smart Pro S?
I've never played with it, so I wouldn't know.
Okay. I will send you mine so you can play
I
with it
think
because I'm not a fan.
I think I would prefer having Android, just
Okay.
because with how limited this chipset is, it is just kind of nice to have some Android native gaming.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the one thing I can say that, because I don't want to just sound like I'm super down on Ambernic, because I'm not. I really think their innovation in this space has been killer. Like, they have put a lot of pressure on other people to innovate, and they've also themselves found a way to, like, yes, release a million products, but make something for everybody, which as a whole should grow the market. Like, dude, my school teacher messaged me on Instagram like 3 weeks ago saying he just bought an Ambernic because he watched one of my videos, and now he has to get them for all his kids, and his kids want to play retro games because they're able to play them. Like, they're lured in by the the fact that they're playing console games from like their dad's generation on a device that's portable. It's the same thing that hooked a lot of our, us in the beginning. And it takes a lot of exposure to kind of break out with a niche. And so Ambernic's good for that. The other thing that Ambernic has been really good about is their build quality has just gone up and up and up. Like, if you would have taken me back in time and like not told me who made this device like a year ago, let's say, and like if I hadn't seen like the sticks on like the 406 devices, if it was prior to all that and you handed me this, I would have never guessed Ambernic as my first, second, or third guess. This to me is like, that's the one thing, is they're definitely getting better and better at that kind of stuff, but they do fumble the bag quite often when it comes to like, just like you said, if they didn't name it a Vita, and if they didn't style it like a Vita, and they said it was $99, we do have to keep in mind it's $99 in this current climate, right? So $99 in this current tech climate for that is probably good, not great. So if you're happy with it, like, you have every reason to be happy with it, and people can't really tell you otherwise.
And I feel like that's with any handheld.
Yeah,
and also,
for sure.
You have to consider like us in the US. I think we have a tendency to sometimes, when it comes to these handhelds, be a little on the spoiled side, just because we do have the luxury of choice a lot of the time.
Yep.
Other countries, this may be their only way to play some of these games, and so $100 US device might not mean much to us, but that might be what somebody can afford, and so that's what they're gonna go for.
Yeah, it's funny you say it, because I was really excited today because you guys, do you have Micro Center near you, Todd?
The closest one is like an hour and some change. So yeah, okay. I mean, I can drive to one for sure.
Michaela, do you have one near you?
They do not have Micro Centers up this way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think his closest one is like in Florida.
Closest one, yeah. Then that would be the one that I am in here, because they have one in Charlotte. So the closest one would be me. So I was in Micro Center today, and Retro Lunch, Mike from Retro Lunch, said, "Hey, go look at this. Micro Center sells R36Ss now."
Oh, they've had them for quite some time.
But look at the price. Can you see it?
Yeah, see, that's the price it should be.
$29.99. It's cheaper than Amazon at Micro Center. I haven't opened it up yet. I bought it today. I went in there. They have like 5 different colors.
You went there.
That's so cool.
You just bought it for the memes, basically. Because you could have.
Mike, you know me. I have every R game console R device, and this is like my 4th R36.
Wait, do you have the Christmas special edition one?
No, let me see it. You have it?
We gave it away in my charity stream, but at Christmas time they changed the box, and it was like a Christmas special edition one, and it was green. It was cool.
No, I don't have that one. I've got like 4 of the R36Ss. I got all the 8s and I don't know why, because I'm dumb. I don't know. Who knows? I could tell you.
No, I love Micro Center. The only thing I don't like about Micro Center is it's like a Best Buy where all the employees get a small commission. And so the ability for them to just leave you the heck alone when you're shopping, at least at my store, is like, oh my God, it feels like you're getting hit by it's like flies to a horse's ass, dude. It is just so bad the second you walk in there and you start looking at anything.
See, my Micro Center is all teenage kids. They don't really bother you much at all at mine. So maybe it's
That's
also
nice.
because I go in there, like, it's because of my job, I drive by it all the time. So if I'm just looking for a roll of filament or something like that, and typically they have their inland basic for $10 a roll. So if I'm looking for black or white or gray, I stop by and grab a roll. So
Speaking of filament, we were going to talk about something in the show notes. Was it the Flashforge sale?
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of stuff on sale. Before we do, I want to do one more Embernick thing because I thought this was kind of cool, and I know Todd saw it. I don't know if Michaela saw it. This kind of leaked out on Reddit. This is some sort of, I don't know, but this looks kind of cool. I do have a couple concerns, but it looks cool. So check this out.
What I'm mostly interested in looking at this is that they have a mouse pad with all the Excel sheet shortcuts.
Yeah, right. But I mean, and it has transparent colors. I mean, that's kind of cool. And I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is
I think
either.
that's
No,
just them showing that they're in the
Embernick.
actual offices.
Yeah. So interesting. I thought this thing looks pretty cool. Look, he's got RGDS there on the counter. So very cool, very interesting. That looks super cool. The screen size, the 4x3, the form factor. I do think a clamshell would be better.
wait, go back to that real quick. Is it 4.3 or is it 1.1?
Oh, I don't know. Let's take a look because I thought, let me see here.
Not that that makes an enormous difference as far as scalability, but I mean, if it's already a square and then the screen is 1.1, it's kind of hard to tell. I think that's 4.3.
Yeah, I think it's 4.3. Yeah, because look at the rotation before the screen rotates. When it flips up, and then before the screen rotates on screen. Did you see the
Yeah,
difference
it's slightly taller than it is
there?
wider. Yeah.
And I think it's 4.3 also. Looks cool. I am concerned about the hinge being an affiliate point, but let's be honest here, right? And we talked about it earlier about their quality. They haven't had any hinge issues. You don't hear people talking about Embernick hinges failing. So there's something there. Welcome back, bro.
Yeah, even the slide for all the hate that it got,
thank you.
build quality on that thing, it was freaking hefty, like super hefty. Like I didn't feel unconfident with it, you know?
Yeah, this looks cool. This is another, let's see what the chip and the price point is. I mean, for what it is, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I'm interested to see. I thought it looked really cool. Did you see this yet, too, Lost?
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. I think it's really cool looking. The hinge kind of got me a little bit spooked out because as you can see, it's not even there.
But it's also a prototype.
I know.
Very true.
But I think if it all works out, I think this could be really cool, dude. Like it's a Miu Mini Plus size that folds into half the size. That's pretty cool. I would assume Android touchscreen.
What are the potential? I was just gonna say, what is the potential for Android touchscreen gaming on this? But like you could with the RG slide.
What do you guys think? Because I'm not a huge fan of Android gaming on 4.3. I prefer Android gaming on 16:9.
I agree. I think if you have a big enough 4.3 screen, it's serviceable. Like he was saying, the slide, that 4.7 inch screen is serviceable. I would definitely prefer, even like any native 16:9 game, I'd prefer a 16:9 screen. But there are a lot of like very simple but addicting games on Android that just play nice, and they'd probably be plenty of fun with that.
That's true. That is very true. I guess we'll wait and see.
It looks cool.
It needs to be under $70 for me to think it has a chance. That's
well. So like Aish was just saying, it's probably the same chip that's in the RGDS, which makes sense, right? Because they have that. They have Android running on that. It's cost effective for them at least.
Is that the 3566 or 355?
3562 or something. Yeah, 3650. Yeah, something. I can't remember.
Idle clickers. I didn't even think about that.
Huh?
Idle clickers.
Oh.
For touchscreen gaming.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. See, and look, this goes back to what you're saying. Look at what Derek's saying. I can't see myself buying any device other than the Snapdragon, no matter how cool the SoC gets custom drivers. There's some people who are like that, right? And there's some people that are just because the experience. You know, some people buy this stuff and they don't want to putz around. They're not us. They don't want to screw around with it. So maybe to them it's more value to just play something that works. And that's what you're getting with Snapdragon. You're paying for it a lot of times, but that's what you're getting. And that's why. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Android gaming is always a big bonus if you're gonna have. And I know I make it sound like I think that Android is like a hassle on handhelds. I don't. I just wish it wasn't like the de facto option for everything that Ambernic produces, specifically Ambernic. But there are a ton of really good Android games out there, or even like Mikhailov is playing Ball Pit, like an Android port of a game you already like. It's probably going to run better than trying to do it through Game Hub or Game Native.
Dredge,
and those are usually the games that people want to play.
Yeah, that's all great
Dead
points.
Cells,
Halls of Torment.
Halls of Torment.
That's my jam, bro. That's my jam right there.
And there is cloud saves if you use your Google Play account. So there really is no reason not to give those a shot.
Yeah, I dig it. You guys hear about the PS4? Sony says that they're starting to phase out support for the PS4.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
It's 12 years old. I was like, is it really 12 years old already?
It's a security thing. If it becomes easier and easier for people to hack them, then it makes them safer or less and less safe to be on your network. It's just, it's like when people got mad when Windows had to say they're going to start phasing out support for Windows 10. It's just at a certain point, you can't expect them to put budget and resources into something. Now, I do think of like the Xbox 360, for example, like in third world countries, that was a huge thing where they could get them and import them for cheap. It gave people access to a huge library of games that were influential to people that maybe otherwise didn't have the financials for stuff. So, of course, it's always sad. But at the end of the day, like there's only so much you can expect a company to do when they're moving forward,
Yeah,
we're at the end of PS5 life cycle. So I mean,
very true.
It's about to be 2 generations old.
So can we say officially that the PS4 is retro? A retro console? Too loud?
It has to be for me. So for me, 15 to 18 years, I like to hover into retro, but retro is hard to define when you get old, right? Because retro to me is like before my generation. It's me, like when I think of a retro system, I think of the NES. I'm almost 34 years old. Were there NESs in people's homes when I was growing up? Sure, but was it like the hottest release? You know what I mean? Like my first game console was the Sega Saturn. So to me, even a Super Nintendo is like technically like bordering like retro for me as a kid. So it's a weird definition. I don't know if you guys saw GameStop actually posted.
I think that's a good point, dude.
They posted something the other day saying, "Hey, just so you know, Wii U and PS3 and Xbox 360, by our terms and classifications, are retro games now." And
I think it's a matter of perspective, depending on the generation you're talking to, like it's gonna be different, right? Like one of my kids probably would look at a PlayStation 3 and say that's retro. To me, it's still not retro, regardless of how old it is. It just doesn't. It's not what I see as retro, right? Like retro to me is like PS2 and under. But to younger kids, they're like, yo, PS3's graphics are trash. I got a PS5. That's retro.
It's also an accessibility thing, right? Like, I think a PS2 is a lot easier to think of as retro because try going downstairs to your TV right now without any adapters and playing a PS2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I'm sitting in a room right now with 1, 2, 3, 4 CRTs.
That's really funny. That's really
you know what I mean?
funny.
Can
That's
I buy
really crazy,
adapters and
4
scalers
CRTs.
and all that
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Sure, but there's the way to experience it as intended takes a lot more work. You can take a 360 and just plug it into your TV right now, and as long as your TV can handle 720p scaling without making it look like mud, I mean, it's a fantastic experience. I'm not even personally fully ready to call 360 retro. I know that we're really far removed from it, but like we're still using the bones of a lot of those games, and a lot of those franchises still have widespread like names and things that people think of. You know what I mean? Like we're all still waiting on the next Elder Scrolls game, and the last one was released on the 360. So it's like,
that's fair.
Retro means a lot less now because brand familiarity is different. Like we all as kids grew up and got like 14 Final Fantasy games by the time we were like adults, and now these kids have played 2 Final Fantasy games and like 7 remakes. So it's a different way that games kind of age out, you know?
You said the 360 is not retro, but it's like 20 years old now. So isn't, by your standards, isn't it retro?
It's getting there.
You're
it's just
getting stubborn about it, right?
Maybe I could be just being highly defensive.
I feel that. Michaela, where are you at on this? What do you consider retro? Is the PS3 retro? Because I'm like, it's 2 generations old. It's retro.
Digital Jedi is definitely retro.
Well,
I agree. Like, no, that's past retro. That's like vintage.
That's vintage.
Yeah, that's vintage right there.
There's antique. There's antique gaming.
That's a whole entire artifact, bro.
Oh yeah. I mean, you go digging in the ground, you're gonna get Digital Jedi.
Yeah, facts, dude.
Yeah.
I just think that it's not okay. So when I think of retro, I think about how far removed it is from like cultural society as far as like what we do now and how different it is, and it's not that different, you know. Like
I'm sure Matt
Elden Ring is built on
on the
DNA of a 360 game. It's not built on the technical DNA. Like it's obviously a different engine and things have moved forward, but like people are able to buy that game and play it with some sort of excitedness.
Okay.
Just based on that alone.
Let's see. Hey dude, let's shift gears here for a moment, Matt. Let's I kind of want to get into this DLSS thing for a minute.
Yeah. Oh God, do we have to?
Yeah, we have to. We have
DLSS, I think Todd's got an awesome question of the day for us. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, you guys. So
you want to lead with question of the day and then jump into DLSS?
Oh, I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I'm down for whatever. Let's do question of the day. Let's do that. And then we'll jump into DLSS. Todd doesn't seem that excited about DLSS.
I mean, it's not that I'm not excited. It's like I know that we're like brewing. You know, we're opening a can of worms. Like the minute that we talk about this,
it's a fact. It's a fact, dude.
So we're gonna go 2 different.
Well, you
ways
did you see our thumbmay today?
I
DLSS
did. It took
5.
me a minute for it to register.
Yeah,
I liked it.
God. All right. I'm a blind you here for a second. You ready? Todd, you ready?
I'm ready.
Pinto bands, old black bands, old black bands, pinto bands, old black bands, old.
All right. Whenever we have a new guest on, we have a question we ask the guest. We already know Mikhailov is the right team. We ask every guest, Todd, if you have to pick between pinto beans or black beans, which is it? You can't sit on the fence. It's got to be one or the other. Can't be.
I feel like it's very meal dependent, though, right? Like I'm not trying to.
Only have
I'm not
one
trying to
for the rest of forever, dude.
Okay, so if I had to use one and it had to be versatile in everything, I think that you could go a little further with black beans. But do I enjoy pinto beans more? Definitely. It's just I'm not going to put pinto beans in a salad. You know, it's just I guess if I would just
versatile. Yeah.
But if I had to exclude all the meals that I would want to have with black beans, if I could only, I guess I would have to go with pinto beans because I'm not giving up like burritos and tostada salads and, you know, I could eat a plate of pinto beans by themselves with some sauce. So I would probably go with pinto beans. But do I think that they are the most usable in every situation? Probably not.
Why you had to end it on a negative note, bro? You had to end it on a negative note.
Age, you don't count. You're biased, bro. You don't count, dude. Like you're biased. We know. We know where you stand. We know on what. I don't want to go there, but we know on what side of the border you stand. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm in the pinto bean capital of the world, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like I know that I'd be remiss to just like I could probably give up black beans and just never even think like, huh, that's weird. I haven't seen a black bean.
Dude, the wild thing
in a
is
while.
how little bit of people, because everybody relate like talk about pinto beans, and it's really because of Mexican cuisine and refried beans and things like that. Even though like honestly, like there's refried black beans and they kick the shit out of pinto.
Oh, it's like some spicy black beans and some Spanish rice.
Like
amazing, you know? It's just accessibility.
He said, wait, what? Todd is in Mexico?
I basically am. I mean,
he's in old Mexico.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am.
Mexico.
Yeah,
I'm like ancient Mexico.
I'm like 40 minutes away.
All right. Yeah. Well, you answered that question properly, sir. All right.
You know what's the funniest part to me, dude? And I've been kind of waiting a long time to do this. Because you've been fighting for pinto beans now for how many episodes is this?
I don't know, like 50 episodes or something.
Okay, so let's just say 50, right?
Uh-huh.
And the thing is that I know you're just calling the beans that you're fighting for the wrong thing. And I've known it the whole time. Because I know you're talking about habichuela.
Yeah, but that's not.
So you're calling them pinto.
That's not what we call them. We refer to them as pink beans or habichuelas, right?
No, habichuela and pintos are two completely different beans.
No, are you talking about kidney beans?
No. Habichuela, pink beans are not pinto beans.
Yeah, I know, but most people don't know what habichuela is. So the next closest thing is pintos.
So you're fighting a battle for a bean that is not even yours, bro.
People can't tell them apart. Listen, you're looking for excuses to not be in the losing end. Bro,
I'm never on the. Bro, do you know the tally by Todd? Let me explain something to you, bro.
The tally is 675
and
to 2.
Here it begins.
At this point, we have to be at least like if it's been 50 episodes, probably 45 to 5.
Hey, Chad, do you want to hear my impression of Too Loud and Matt?
Yes, I do. I want to hear it.
Does chat want to hear it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, even Derek. You see Derek? Look. Black beans are winning.
He's paid. He's a paid
Those
actor.
who've been here know the paid actor is wild, dude.
I have thought of one food I would probably be, saddened by the lack of black beans, probably more than anything, is like a good black bean burger. If you've ever had like a...
Come on, you can't do that with pintos.
Because I don't eat red meat, so it's like if I want a burger...
Oh, bro, who let this guy in our chat right now?
Oh my gosh. Mikhail, do your impression.
Man, my boy.
All right,
I'll die without a ribeye,
Here's my
bro.
impression of Alex and Matt. Ready? Yeah.
Honey,
Oh, Lord.
hold on. Let me help you out. I need pee for my cornhole.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, bro.
All right. Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude.
No.
Question of the day.
Beavis and Butthead.
All right. Todd, hit us. What is your question of the day, brother?
Wait, I have to read it? It was like a book. Where'd I even... Here, go back up through our...
Hey, you almost made me spit my drink out, bro.
All right, I gotta move this over a second.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
We don't
So
care
I
what Google
put,
says
my
around
question
here.
is, what video game story do you feel changed the way that you view the world or mediums for storytelling in general? And what part of it is it that changed that for you? So what stood out the most? Is it the characters, the world building, maybe the mechanics of the game, some of the items, some of the subtle storytelling things? Because to me, I was listening to another podcast. I'm not going to oust them, but pretty much all of the guests unanimously decided that they think that video games can tell good stories, but they're the worst medium out of all the mediums that tell stories. And that infuriated me. Like, I could not believe
Me too.
I could not believe I was listening to a podcast by, and these are high regarded journalists, all of them. and they were saying like, oh yeah, they can tell fantastic stories, but it's the worst way to get a story, like as far as like delivery. And
Oh, dude, they're clearly not
Why?
playing the right
It's
game.
I just-
interactive.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
are the
yeah.
story.
you
Yeah,
are
dude.
exactly, like, for example, not to say that this is my personal choice, but it could be one of my choices is
Hey, Derek,
like Breath of the Wild. The story doesn't exist, but the adventure changes the way that you look on, how a world could be. So
Yeah.
I like Michael Benny's though. He said after Tony Hawk Pro Skater,
yeah.
I looked at city landscaping differently. That may sound like a joke. But that game took skateboarding, and in particularly street skateboarding, from like non-existent to a multi-billion-dollar empire. And there are now people that walk around looking at city landscaping differently. So that is,
I agree.
even if that were a troll answer, it is absolutely true in the fullest sense.
Yeah, look at what Green Protect say. That's a great point. Final Fantasy VII was all about environmental, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's that's a great question. And so, I'm gonna say something that's probably not. It's gonna probably sound really shallow. When I was thinking about that, I thought about more. The first thing that came to mind to me was Halo 2, and it was because of the social aspect of it, of playing together with friends. I remember like that was like the first like LAN party aspect, and it made me look at like gaming. And I say LAN party, I mean like a whole bunch of us taking our Xboxes to somebody's house and hooking them up on gaming. It brought gaming to, like, for me, like a social aspect. So the storyline didn't impact me, but the availability of the multiplayer and stuff like that really changed a lot for me. Now that was really what developed my because before that everything was platformers and side scrolling games and stuff. So I mean, for me that was a huge thing. Even playing online, prior, I don't know what was the first one you can go online? Was it the Dreamcast or something? Those games, it's just not the same as that experience that you had on that Xbox and the Halo 2. Because when I read your question, that was the first thing I had thought about, was like, ooh, like I remember how cool it was when I realized that me and my friends could sit there together and game and have a couple beers or whatever and just enjoy that. That was a big thing for me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That was just a standout point when I think about your question there. So not really a storyline, but the other aspects of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, that is your story with the game. You know what I mean? Like, you just told me a story about you, but like the vessel, the vehicle for everything that you just said is ultimately like the experience you had with the game,
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Green Protag said. He said, I think Halo may have been a game where I really played a co-op gaming experience, creating a community around gaming. Like,
Yeah.
for a lot of people, that was, your first experience with even some, like, with strangers, like playing video games with strangers and getting to meet people and make connections, over the internet with a game. So, like,
Oh, dude,
that's
Call of
totally
Duty
valid.
Modern Warfare lobbies.
Yeah. Ruthless,
I
right?
remember that experience for the first time.
You're still scarred from it, but
Dude,
Yeah.
dude. Now you get in lobbies and you're like, oh, these kids are so soft. They don't even know. It's
Yeah.
like,
People
I'm
are
gonna
ruthless
report
back
you.
then.
Like, hey, we didn't have report you features, bro. Like, like,
Stuff like that. Or what about like being in the arcades and playing Street Fighter 2?
Oh yeah, dude.
It's just too loud. It's just made me think about how much smack you are in an arcade playing somebody Street Fighter. It's just that's
yeah, I've had some funny times with arcade machines growing up, dude. I don't care to
Did you
expose
guys
all
ever
of them.
play the virtual on arcade machines?
The virtual what?
Virtual on, where it was
No.
like two joysticks and you pilot a mech.
Oh,
That
no,
sounds cool.
dude,
It's
I
like
never
Steel
even
Battalion.
seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one which you have to wear the helmet or whatever, or the goggles?
You don't
or
have to wear a
something?
helmet, no.
Okay, all right.
It's an old one.
Okay, so I have my answer. And but I'm not gonna give too many spoilers on it because we have a friend that watched the channel and he's been waiting to play this game for a while and he's gonna get started on it. I believe very soon here on his Twitch stream. But it's actually more. I have games further back than this, but this one more recently is the one that impacted me a lot, and that's Claire Obscure's Expedition 33.
Okay.
Currently playing Say Nothing.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, dude. I just want
Right.
to say, like, for those that say like video games are the worst form of storytelling, like, dude, I cried in this game. I laughed in this game. My wife laughed at me when she saw me crying when I was playing that game. And dude, like when I was younger, up until like my middle 20s, I was like really into reading books. I read books like crazy. And the thing that I always said while playing Expedition 33 was it always gave me that feeling like when it was time to go to sleep, like, dude, I can't wait to wake up to see what's going to happen next. Like, I need to know, I need to get back there. I need to get back to that experience because the storytelling, the music, like I cannot believe somebody would have the audacity to say like video games are the worst form of storytelling, because what other form of storytelling immerses you so much? You know, you got a good pair of headphones on, you have the music, you have the audio, you are playing the character, reenacting whatever story the director is trying to have you play through. And dude, I want to talk about it more, but I won't. I would have to say I disagree with that. But Expedition 33, for those who haven't played it, please try it. Even if you're not a turn-based person, like the story is just that good. Like, it is well worth it. And it tears at all the emotions. Like, it's very, very good. So
Heck yeah.
I had some parts in there that I wanted to talk about certain parts of the game and why I feel that way.
Yeah,
but
it's
I'm
hard
not
to hold
gonna-
back because that game has a lot of moments, but every
It
one
does.
of them would definitely
Mhm.
take away some of the value of the story if you knew it was happening.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
Caleb,
Yeah,
what about
Green
you?
Protag put it well. No other medium has you directly participating and immersing. And I wanted to add something to that
Yeah.
too, because when I was writing that question, it was really hard for me to think of the first game that did that. And that's why I thought it was a really good question, because I was curious if anyone had an obvious answer, because I don't. I have played hundreds of games in my lifetime, and I don't have an obvious answer as to which one was the first. But I think of games that, like, at a certain time in my life, or like I play the game and I have a certain experience with it where I just can't believe what happened. For example, like I remember when my son was first born, I ran through The Last of Us 1 and 2, like back to back. And it tore me apart because I realized that halfway through The Last of Us 2, I was like, I hate being made to do these things. Like, I hate living in this world. I hated everything about the world. Like, nothing about it was cool. Nothing about it felt fun. It was, I have to see how this ends. And as the game progresses, I found myself disagreeing. It was almost like I was arguing with the choices the writers made with the game, because I was like, this just feels vile. It feels sickening. It feels like hopeless. And I'm at a time in my personal life where I should be like super excited, which I'm obviously excited, but like while playing the game, I'm just like, this feels dirty. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, well, you know, if this was the world that I was living in, you don't play by the same rules anymore. And
Right?
you don't
Yeah.
have the stakes. When the stakes in life shift dramatically, your priorities on what you might think are the right and wrong choices change. And in a way, you know, and not to spoil the game, but like you see a character that you're forced to play as self-sabotaging, and you almost think that they don't know that they're self-sabotaging. And then when you get to the end of the game, you realize like this is all that person ever knows. They self-sabotage because that's their defense, because they were born into this world with these preconceived things that make it so that they've always been looked at differently. And so what would make sense to you doesn't make sense to them. What set of rules seem logical to you seem illogical to them. And that story, like to this day, I will probably never desire to play that game again. Like I said, I felt like I hated it, but I'm so glad that I had that experience. It was so eye-opening in a way.
Interesting.
That is an interesting perspective for sure. Like, Because you like, tell me another entertainment medium that you would get that same feeling.
Right. It's
Well,
like it felt
you
like
know.
a horror movie, but you weren't allowed to look away. You weren't allowed to like wince. You had to proceed, you know? And there were times where there were monsters and there was times where you were the monster and the real game was trying to figure out why. The whole time you're playing that game, you're trying to figure out like, does this actually need to be this way? Does this actually make sense? And the answer is no for both of those questions. And then that still doesn't satisfy the story. Like you still have to continue it either way.
I get
Hell
that.
yeah.
Right.
I get that.
On
So-
that note, I sadly need to dip out. I'm doing the rounds
No.
tonight.
You can't leave until you give us your answer.
I don't know.
You tried to be slick just now.
I mean, in all honesty, and thinking about it, like the first time I really got upset at something that happened in a video game would be playing an old SNES game called Final Fantasy 3. Final Fantasy
You love
6
Final
in
Fantasy,
Japan.
dude.
And I'm just going to say 2 words, and I'm going to let everyone else figure out the rest. General Leo.
Mm.
I don't know what that
General
means.
Leo.
Nah, I gotta look it up.
General
I don't want to put
Leo
myself
is a-
on blast here tonight, so
General Leo is a character that you grow to respect heavily,
Mhm.
and you get to play as him for all of 2 minutes, and the whole 2 minutes you're playing as him, you're thinking, wow, this guy's really badass, and he's going to probably join my party, and he's really powerful, and he's cool. And then he dies.
Oh.
Yep.
That's funny.
hey, that's that hurt. That's that hurt. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like, yeah, I
That's
can't lose him.
I was so upset that I went out and asked my dad to buy me a Game Genie so that I can hack him back into my party.
Oh my
my
goodness,
God, so
dude.
funny.
Oh,
Trauma.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, look, all these years later, he's still hurt by that General Leo, dude. It's
Oh,
like,
that's funny.
that's
General
so
Leo.
good. That's so good, dude.
F's in chat for General Leo.
Hey, well, thank you for joining us, dude. I hope you enjoy your
Thank you,
claws. Like I said, you're still 1 claw short. I don't know how you're gonna fill that gap.
I'm not,
Oh.
because you can't find them anywhere. And honestly, you know, at the end of the day, I'm going to end up only having 1 claw. I have to send the A8 back to MSI. I probably won't keep the 7, and I will just settle on this bad boy here.
Yeah, that won't hurt.
I love it.
That
I love
at
it.
all.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Nice, in the nice Polar Tempest colorway.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mm.
It is
All right.
gorgeous.
Well, enjoy the rest of the podcast, everyone.
Well, it was good to see you.
Thanks
Night,
for having
brother.
me on. It was good to see
Yeah.
you too. I'm sorry we didn't get to catch up at CES. I could have sworn you were at the arcade though, but I was just I
No,
don't
we had
remember much.
a funny
I don't
story.
remember much about that night. I
Yeah,
remember
no,
you guys
we-
getting stuck in an elevator.
No, yeah, we went to dinner with some people at Gordon Ramsay Burger, and they assumed because some members of ASUS were like at the party first that it was like an ASUS company dinner. ASUS was going to pick up the tab. And it wasn't that. It was just some of the people that worked at ASUS were friends with some of the people that were going to dinner, and it just everybody invited everybody. And then they refused to split the checks, and they
Yikes.
refused to take more than 1 card. So they said you basically all have to individually pay cash, or you have to pay on 1 card. And most of us didn't know each other, so it didn't make any sense for why that would happen. And so Rudy, baldly Rudy, went into full dad mode and ripped the manager a new, you know what, hand wrote down everybody's order, who was on which check, how they need to split the checks, and demanded that they did it, and they did it.
W. Rudy, dude. Rudy,
Wow.
dude.
Rudy
So
is a beast.
I have
He's
been
such a
friends with
nice
Rudy
guy.
for a
I
long
couldn't picture him
time.
being like that, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like,
say I have been friends with Rudy for a decent amount of time, and I have never seen him without a smile on his face anytime I've been around him in person or otherwise. And seeing him that mad and that determined, oh my God, it was remarkable. It was terrifying.
Sounds scary. I was gonna say sounds scary.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, he conquered the attention of the whole room for sure.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
W.
Also,
Rudy.
Gigi's is being real savage right now. You think I'm the supervillain?
Gigi is a supervillain for sure.
Yeah.
That
He's
is that
definitely
is
a Sith Lord.
absolute facts, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hey, well, thank you, Mike. Thank you.
All
dude.
right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks again for having me on.
Yes, sir.
Hey, whatever time we have left, let's talk about this DLS thing because we know Todd is super excited about it. And so this DLSS 5, Tula, I'm gonna lead you to take the lead on that because I think you're better versed in that than I am.
On or off?
There you go.
Fair. So okay, I'm gonna give you my. This may piss people off, but I don't know if it's a big deal. I think it's cool that it can enhance a game, and sometimes I get worried that people take this kind of stuff get too worked up about this kind of stuff. I'm not quite sure what the right answer is there. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead.
I don't want to interject, but when DLSS first came out, when it was just upscaling resolution, everyone's like, excited about it. And then there was some backlash. People are like, oh, developers are just going to get lazy now, blah, 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 blah. And then there was pushback and they're like, no, they're not going to get lazy. It's just going to make things better. Well, if I had to be honest, I would say that they do rely on it as a crutch. Then when we got, frame gen is kind of in between. I think NVIDIA and developers both know that it's not good enough for most people to feel like, oh, if my game gets 40 FPS and I take this on and I get 60, they're happy with the performance of the game they bought. They're still going to complain. This is like a whole nother level. I don't necessarily think that developers will use it as a crutch right away, but if they decide to, it's going to be a problem. The other thing is I want to see this, like, you notice how any of these shots right here where they show movement, they're not the character moving around a scene. It's just panning the camera. And the reason is those lights and those shadows, I feel like are going to look really weird on faces and certain objects if they don't render the right way. Like, as you can see, like, look at the lighting on the ground as he's walking. It just looks unrealistic. It almost looks like the sun. He's got like a sunbeam that's attached to him, and as he's moving, the lighting is moving with him. And in real life, that's not how that works. So there's
Some of it
weird
looks
things.
exceptional. Like, to
Yes.
be honest, like some of it like really looks really
But
good.
then
Then there are some super wonky things, right? I don't know if you guys seen the image going around of the guy, like when DLSS 5 was on, he lost his eyelids. Like they were just gone. He had zero. he had zero eyelids. So like, there's clearly like a bit of work that still needs to be done. Also, the fact that like when they're doing these tests and showing them to us, dude, they're using one 5090 for the game's graphics and one 5090 for the DLSS and upscaling. Like that's pretty insane.
That is more than pretty insane. The other point too is that don't forget how many times have you and I talked about this, and you have a very valid point about your concerns with them using this stuff to be lazy, like Todd was saying, to take.
No, I
shortcuts.
agree with Todd 100%. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
rasterization matters, right? Like a game should be optimized to the point of rasterization. Like these should just be tools to help us get further performance, but it should not be like, oh yeah, my game hits 60 FPS with DLSS turned on and multi-gen frame rendering. Like that shouldn't be the standard, right? Like I think Monster Hunter Wilds tried that when they first released that game, And thankfully they've optimized the game a lot since then. But in the beginning, that was their thing. Like, oh, you want 60 FPS? We give you 60 FPS with frame gen on, with the DLSS on, like every AI feature in the book. You needed to turn it on in order to hit that 60 FPS. Like, that's not tolerable. That should not be the norm. So I do agree with that. Do I have a problem with some of these images? No, I think, man, dude, look at this clearly. How can you argue the one on the right looks insane, like amazing?
I have a counterpoint to that, and it's not that I think that you're not entitled to that opinion. Like at a standstill, it looks good. But as someone who enjoys games as their entire art form and package, I would say that games that have always aimed to be hyper realistic versus like stylized art direction, those games have always aged like milk. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hyper realism graphics, they always age out terribly. We are getting to the point now where it's like diminishing returns. Aish made the point that he thinks that if developers can use this as a way of speeding up development time, then he thinks that that's a good thing. And I'm not going to say that that's not necessarily wrong, but I think that we look at this differently, because this is what's going to happen is if this becomes the norm and we get worse models, this is NVIDIA's way of giving a crutch to then basically offer a solution to only their consumers. Okay. We know AMD will try to have their version.
There's two things with that. First, you were saying about the realistic graphics aging out. The realistic graphics have not ever looked like this before, right? And I know that's a kind of a stupid or maybe a biased statement, because the expectation it gets better. But look at this picture. This is insane, man. And I think the other part about what you're saying about NVIDIA, I think NVIDIA is kind of trying to force you to look at the 5090. Because a lot of people can't afford that. But, I mean, that's like, if this comes available and the way they're presenting it is with 259, who can do that? Who can do that? Especially now with the cost of stuff. I mean, I don't know if that's a realistic expectation that we can actually do that. I love video games, but I'm not buying 25090s. Besides the fact that I'm an AMD guy, but you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
I look at any available, and I hate when we say developers are being lazy. I know, like, I've probably said that's come out of my mouth or whatever. It's not development or developers. It's middle management and executives and shareholders, because the thing is, video games now are not just like a commodity. They're like legit, like, big businesses and equity firms invest in gaming companies. It's return of investment. Like, and same thing with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is one of the biggest companies in the world, and they would have never achieved that just strictly sticking to gaming. Of course, the AI stuff is what kind of got there, and there's some political, things in the way of how that may have, come to be. But at the end of the day, when I think of streamlining game production, we're looking at a company right now, Capcom. Capcom is one of the only companies that can consistently put out games. The games are pretty much, with the exception of Monster Hunter Wilds, very well optimized. They are well received almost always. And why is that? It's because Capcom prioritizes using their own tech. They have their own game engine that their in-house studios use. They don't license out a bunch of, softwares and things like that and put them in their game. So a lot of the time when these companies are being pressured by their executives to make a game fast, they're not given the time like, hey, I need 5 years to build a game engine that will work well for the vision that we have for our games and how our games are built and the people that work here, how they build games. So what do? They rush to go to Unreal Engine, and then they buy Unreal Engine. They buy assets from Unreal Engine. They buy plugins that are all commonly used across the board. And the final result is usually some hacked up version of Unreal Engine that hit a limitation that they wanted to change. They changed it with their own custom frameworks, and then the game is poorly optimized, stutters, has issues, doesn't feel original, doesn't have an original art style because the assets are all purchased and bought. So it's weird. It's just like, the more tools that exist, as long as they work well, sure. But I don't think that this is the answer, personally. Like, that doesn't look good. That looks like AI garbage. Look at
part right
that.
there? Yeah.
Yes, that looks. He's got a Snapchat filter on. That's what that looks like.
He called it a Snapchat filter. Tula, what are you thinking? How you feeling about this? Where's your? If I had to twist your arm and tell you, give me a final stance. Pick one side. Where are you going?
I would. I mean, if I was a final stance, I would. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. Like it's. Anyways, it would make no difference if you were. It's not going anywhere.
Like, that looks horrible.
I think that at the end of the day, like, games should have their own creative art style, and I know that NVIDIA said, it's up to the developers, how they want this DLSS to be implemented on their game to get with them. That's just an extra step for developers to have to go and deal with NVIDIA one-on-one for that type of implementation. But at the same time, I think, like, dude, I mean, especially like on handhelds, which is where we live in this space, right? Dude, multi-gen is insane. Multi-gen is insane. DLSS is insane. Like this stuff has definitely progressed us in a way that we're able to play stuff on these handhelds and get a lot more bang for our buck. But at the same time, I don't know. I think if I had your question, like if I had to choose, just right now, I wouldn't vote for it to go anywhere. I would vote, for them to keep working on what they're doing. At the same time, I just think, like, some of it does look funky. Some of it looks awesome. Some of it looks funky. I wonder though, like, I think it was, dude, I wish I remember who I was watching. There was somebody I was watching, and they pointed out, like, all of the characters that they've been showing with the DLSS on is human figures, right? Like, what about monsters or fictional characters, like, that are, like a one of one? Like, they created this being, this monster. Like, how is the AI gonna interpret that and change that being from the intended art direction? I wonder. I would like to see, but I think it's cool. I think it's cool, but I think it costs way too much to do, and most people won't be able to do this. So
I just think it's not entirely necessary. Go look at Death Stranding 2. Like, that game is, gorgeous. Those character models look like real people. And the thing is, it doesn't give the same uncanny valley vibes that you get from what we're looking at here. And so maybe it's just incomplete in this phase, and maybe as time goes on, because it is AI, it will learn.
I don't think it's
better.
just lighting though, Aish. To be fair, I don't think DLSS 5 is just lighting. Clearly there's some AI optimization to the character models. So I don't think it's just lighting solely.
I mean, the lighting is probably what looks the best, if I'm going to be honest. It just doesn't look genuine. Like, that guy, like, go back, if you can go back 2 seconds and pause on that guy.
Potter? Go back to Harry Potter
right here.
Yeah.
Okay, look at the mood lighting. Now it looks like he's got a softbox in front of his face.
Yeah, and that's funny because that's what Kim from Funtech just said, that it's weirdly bright for no reason there. Like,
it looks like he's got a softbox in his face in an era where they use oil lamps and candles. You know what I mean? And so it's just, I mean, you could argue, oh, it's the moon or something. I'm just saying, like, my brain initially feels something when I look at it. And it's not that, like, my opinion is universal, but there's just some sort of uncanniness to it.
Yeah.
And, like,
I can see that.
Like I said, I'm not against realism in games by any means. Like I said, I just mentioned, like, Death Stranding 2 looks as close to real life as I imagine a game can look, while still being obvious that it's a video game. And it doesn't give the same like gut feeling when I look at it.
Yeah,
it feels different.
A light ring on the face. So funny she says that, because I'm noticing while you're talking. Okay, so the main character in this clip, it looks like he's got the light ring, like Kim said, on his face. But look at the what are these things called again?
The trolls.
The trolls, yeah, the trolls.
Or not
Look
trolls.
yeah, they're not. Yeah, they are trolls, aren't they? Trolls, no.
I forget what they're called.
Oh gosh. Anyway, he
Trolls
doesn't
are
change. He doesn't change when look at him. Tell me, does he change?
Goblins. There we go.
Goblins.
Yeah, I'm.
Right. Okay, so he does change a little bit. He does. At first, I thought he didn't change, but he does change.
That is way more than just lighting. That is the texture on his face, and I think what it is too is part of it is like it's a pre-baked light onto a texture that makes it look weird. If I had to guess, it's just something about it. Like it's like flat in something that's supposed to be 3D. Like even in motion, it makes it feel oddly like flatter than it should. It lacks the real depth. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
It's like the blue dress and the white dress meme from back in the day, you know? Everybody knows it was a blue dress, but your brain is just telling you, hey, it's something here is not right.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens. You know, I mean, it's again, it's just a hurry up and wait and see type of thing. We'll see what happens when it comes out, what it really is, and if it's really going to be cost effective. And we don't know. I mean, the people will speak with their wallets, I guess.
That's the best way to do it. And the thing is, like I said, I'm not going to not buy a game if this tech is in there. But if it's forced and it looks bad, it is going to diminish my experience.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm still over here playing N64 games and PS2 and Xbox games. Graphics are not what sell me on a game, so I might not even be the right person to have an input on this.
What's your favorite N64 game? Man, I wish Jeeves was here. Jeeves is a huge N64. Oh, he's a GameCube guy, right? He's a huge GameCube guy. But what's your favorite N64 game?
If I had to say my favorite, as far as if I could go put it in and play and don't change the experience at all, Banjo-Kazooie is still super fun in the state that it exists on the N64. But I mean, as far as impact and game that I think has the most relevance in my life now and cultural relevance, it's got to be Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. But there's better ways to play those games now, and now that I have that option, I would much rather play it in that way than go boot it up on the N64. So it's probably Banjo-Kazooie.
Too loud?
Mega Man Legends.
That's a good one too.
Dope. I'm gonna say Superman 64.
Hands Turn said Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark's another good one. So I just recently was gifted one of these from Mr. Russ, which was super nice of him to send this to me. So if you're watching, Russ, shout out you. Thank you. Being able to play
3D.
Yes. And the thing about this that I love is someone mentioned Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark is a game where all it really needed to be extra awesome was just smooth out the frame rate. It already had decently high-res textures if you had the expansion pack, but being able to obviously use it on a display with proper 4K output and that extra overclock mode where it smooths out the frame rate, it is so fantastic.
Yeah, you see, H has a message for you.
Me and H are always we know this isn't personal. We probably disagree more than we agree, but where we agree, we really agree. Am I right about that? I feel like.
I was just kidding about Superman 64. I think for me, it probably
we know, and nobody even gave you what you wanted. That's what I loved about that moment. Fair. I was like, yes, nobody responded to him.
Mario Kart is probably what I was thinking about.
Oh no.
Yeah, we lost him. That's unfortunate.
He made that Superman 64 joke, and then his computer decided to show him what
I think
Superman
whenever somebody says Mario the wrong way, the StreamYard just boots them. It's clearly his name is Mario and not Mario. So yeah, StreamYard just did what it had to do.
You're a freaking jerk. Mario Kart.
It's funny you mentioned that.
This thing is amazing. StreamYard, man. Freaking on point today.
It's funny you mentioned that because I have out of all of the N64 games I have physical copies for, I only still have a Japanese copy of Mario Kart 64. And it's just because I can't find a reason to go pay full price for that game when the Japanese version does everything the same. And it has a better splash screen. So there's that too.
Hell yeah. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it.
Dude. Yep. This was fun. I mean, we didn't get a chance to get to it. There was a bunch of sales on AliExpress. I'll post them in the description. Some really good ones on there. If you guys haven't looked, really good sales right now. Also, too, I really didn't get the chance to talk about the. Actually, I don't give a shit. We're gonna do it. Hit the what the f, dude. Hit it and pull the Asus. Because we got to talk about this really quick.
You sure you want to do that?
Yep.
You're gonna take a lot of heat, bro.
Yep. It's okay. That's why I never mind wearing egg on my face, dude. It doesn't bother me. I'm not too prideful to admit when I'm wrong. I don't know if you guys have seen the Asus Tough A14, but you gonna pull it, man?
Yeah.
Pull it and pull the other devices I put after it, please.
Stop being impatient, bro.
It's okay. I got you, dude. Anyways, so we got the Asus Tough A14. I was super excited about this. It comes with a 2.5K screen, the 392, which is a cut down 395, and 32 gigs of RAM. $2,200. Like, I don't know why I expected anything different in the time, but man, I really don't know what to say. Like, this is such a letdown because I was expecting that the cut down dies, we would be able to get some 395 gaming performance for a lower price, a lower entry point. And that's not what we got. We got these cut down dies, and they're at the same price point as full fat 395s. And if you know right now, like this is going for 2,200. You could get a 64 gig Z13 for lower cost than this. This also has 165 hertz panel, where the Z13 has 180. I've seen this panel in person. It doesn't look as good as the Z13's panel. But I'm a little bit biased, to be fair. Like, this has like a matte finish on it, where the Z13 has a glossy finish. I prefer a glossy finish over a matte finish. So
same.
But
yeah, it's pioneering technology, right? APUs are obviously it's nothing new, but AMD is definitely the one that has to kind of carry the torch in a sense, or like push the envelope. And so I feel like a lot of the time that requires a lot of expensive development costs. And the only way that they see a way of recuperation with that is things like this. If I can divert for like 2 seconds, if we're looking at this at $2,200, it's an AMD APU. The 392 is pretty powerful. What does that mean for Xbox Helix? Because Xbox Helix, that custom chipset, as we know, is close to rivaling like 5080 performance. It's supposed to have really impressive path tracing capabilities, and Microsoft is not going to subsidize the cost by much, if at all.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me feel like we're looking at I don't know, like $1,300, maybe $1,500 Xbox Helix, whatever it's going to actually be called. I hate saying Helix. It sounds so weird.
Yeah, I don't know how many they plan on selling. Clearly, they're comfortable with selling less than Sony. So, there's that. I don't know, dude. I think it's kind of crazy. I think that's really scary to think about when it comes to the console space. Also, too, just like if you take this thing and you compare it to a standard laptop, like, because this is a laptop, like the Z13, the Apex, the Super X, like they have something different going for them, right? Like the Apex is a handheld, the Z13 it doubles as a tablet. This is literally a standard laptop. I also put in the listing a Legion,
Right,
Legion laptop.
Yep. We're gonna do that right now. That's
Dude, when you compare these side by side, it's like how do you feel okay to buy that A14 when you have devices like this going for $1,400? This thing has an OLED panel with 240 hertz, has an Intel 255HX and a
it's got an Arrow
5070.
Lake. Yeah, it's an Arrow Lake and a 5070 for $1,300. That's insane compared to $2,200 for that other one.
Like I'm Team Red all day, and I love AMD, but the performance you're going to get out of this 5070 is going to beat that 392 in gaming. I mean, granted, depending on the amount of RAM you have on that 392 and running LLMs, you'll do better off on that chipset. But if you're gaming, like this is gonna do you much better all day. On top of that, you get DLSS, you get multi-gen frame generation, like
16-inch screen, OLED. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I mean, we've all known that ASUS stuff always comes with a tax anyway. It's just part and parcel for how they do business.
It's too much.
I daily drive a Zephyrus M16 with an i9 and a 4070 in it at work, and I think about how much that laptop costs, and think about how what I do, I could just buy like an M4 MacBook Pro, and I would get better battery life. I'd get a practically color calibrated screen out of the box. I would get insane thermals, and even though I'm not going to be like gaming on it because it's a Mac machine, the editing performance that I use my laptop for, it would probably on par, if not maybe surpass it in some aspects. It's just tech is in a weird space.
That's all true. That's all true, dude.
Tech is in a weird space where you pay the pioneering costs of the emerging tech, right? That's just all it is. 5070, Asus or Lenovo didn't have to cut their teeth doing R&D to make the 5070. NVIDIA did that. And NVIDIA is a much larger company with resources because they are making more than just gaming GPUs for the casual audience. Means their production costs are less. It's a different way of looking at it. Do I think anyone should buy something that's less like performant for more money just because? No, we do it because we like seeing where the tech innovation is going. You know, it's the same reason why we play games on handhelds. Do I think that this has the best controls and the best screen and the best whatever compared to everything that's around me right now for playing a game? No, but it's a novelty, and I think that's what a lot of the APU market is. I mean, it pushes forward, like you said, it pushes forward things like handhelds and stuff, having it exist. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I never expect it to not be expensive, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean, but at the same time, dude, it's like it's getting to a point where it's insane.
Shocking. Yes,
and then like look at what I'm experiencing today. Like I'm using a Z13, essentially. Like I got it for a lot cheaper, but essentially a $2,300 machine. My freaking Bluetooth chip literally died. Died tonight. Like, bro, I don't know. I just expect more. I think it's crazy because the prices are going up. The longevity of the products and the hardware is going down. Because I literally I've been with Asus for years. I love Asus's products. I have a Asus laptop from probably 2016. That thing's still going strong, no problem. I have another one from 2022. The fans died, had to change it. I have a freaking Z13 that's 6 months old, maybe more like 4 months old.
It's important to remember, though, that prices are going up, but that doesn't necessarily, for the business end, correlate to profits going up, right? So a lot of these prices are going up because making these things uses energy, transporting them uses gas, building them requires, silicon and all these things that are becoming more and more like a precious commodity at every given second. And then they're so volatile that, I mean, we saw it. We were all at CES. I don't know if you guys were at CES the previous year, but none of the stuff that was at CES 2025 barely made it to 2026. A lot of those products didn't get released. And what we saw this year was lackluster, and is because they kind of had to clutch their pearls and be like, one bad business decision wipes out the budget for any innovation. So we have to play it safe. And that's why a lot of what we saw was being marketed as like, oh, these are really good consumer tech items. And where we fall a lot of the time is somewhat consumer, but mostly enthusiast. And so we're just kind of,
I'm gonna say, like, I have a hard time believing that their profit margins aren't growing. As a business, that's what they're aiming for every year. On top of that, I have a really good, recollection of the Z13 being the same price it is now, and the boutique outlets coming and releasing $395 devices at a time for $1,600 early bird. Like, so you're telling me that these smaller outlets that are buying less components are able to sell it to you for cheaper? Why? Just because AMD likes them better, wants to work a better deal with them?
No, there's
dude,
more
come
to
on.
it, because Asus assumes a certain defect rate. They assume transportation to Best Buys. They assume like a higher return rate. Because you got to keep in mind, like in my day job, I market for products that are expensive. I can't talk a lot about what I do, but
Don't go in depth there.
the average, like some of the items that we sell go up over $100,000. And so people go, oh, but you make it for so much cheaper. And there's somewhat is the case, but it isn't, because certain factors are predetermined into what you price something, because you know that they're real life scenarios. You know what I mean? So if you ship all these things to Best Buy, that costs money. If if a certain amount of them are defective, then you assume that a certain amount of them you're going to make no money on after you've already spent money to produce them. There's a lot of like nuances, marketing dollars, going to trade shows, different things. The boutiques, they sell direct to consumer. They order only what they really, at the bare minimum, anticipate that they will sell. So they don't worry about having stock on hand in excess and availability in places. So it's like and their price difference isn't like much more dramatic compared to what you would think, factoring in a lot of that stuff, warranties, stuff like that. We all know with some of these boutiques, trying to get like an RMA is like pulling teeth, So there's just certain SOPs in place when they're pricing stuff, where they have to like pre-bake in all these scenarios.
Yeah, that's all valid points, and it's a tough part. But still, all that being said, as a consumer, I don't want to pay that much money, right? Because we all work hard for our money, and it's tough being in the middle, like people like us who kind of see that perspective. I come from retail and the tech industry as well too, and I get it, but I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is there. It's tough. You know what I mean? Vote. We say this all the time, and there's merit to it, but vote with your wallet. Let these companies know.
If you don't support the price of something, then you can't buy it. It's weird, because we are also seeing like leaps and bounds in innovation at a speed that's faster and faster. So the amount of time something is relevant in like the public eye is a lot shorter. So you kind of hope to make less of a product and make more profit selling less of it. So there's that. There's just a lot of weird factors that go into things,
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I guess time can tell, right? Time will tell. So, well, all right. Well, this has been awesome. I have had a blast. I love your perspective on this stuff, Todd. You are awesome. What are you working on now? And we didn't get to talk much about it. But I talking more, and you were kind of shifting around, what you were doing in the video. What can we expect to see next from you? What should everybody look at?
So I've been, as some people probably have noticed, I've taken like a little break from YouTube over the last 6 months. And it's not that I'm not going to continue doing YouTube. It's just that the idea of just reviewing every and any little thing that comes out has not always been the plan for the channel. You guys know this because we've talked in person and stuff. My goal for the channel is to have videos that have a little bit more evergreen in the grand scope of things. I want people to watch my video like a piece of art that I crafted, so that they have some sort of reason to watch it 5, 6, 7 years after I release it. And for me personally, reviews aren't that. So I've kind of shifted my focus away from, I do want to review things, but only when it feels like it has a story to tell or has an exciting thing for me personally or something. So in a couple months here, you'll start seeing some more videos coming out, and they will look a lot different than old Toddtronics videos. They're going to be somewhat retrospective and things of that nature. And there is a podcast that has been being worked on very slowly and in the background for the last like 6 months with me and another tech YouTuber. And I want to say maybe in a 2-month time frame, all those things should start kind of dropping out.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it. I always love to see podcasts of people I like watching. So I am down. Dude, you are a rock star. Thank you for taking time out of your night to come hang out with us. Everybody in the chat, thank you for taking time to come hang out with us. We love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to be back next week with another great guest. Link to Todd's channel is going to be in the description. Also, links to all the sales that Too Loud was talking about is going to be in the description. You guys are awesome. Too Loud, any parting words, brother?
No, I appreciate everybody. Happy to know that the audio sounds better for everybody out there. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Hopefully I get this Bluetooth thing resolved, and yeah, super aggravating.
Bought a Lenovo.
No, watch your mouth. No, heck no, dude. No, I don't have a problem with the Lenovo. They make great products. But thank you, everybody. Thank you. We love you guys.
Thanks for having me.
Todd, you're a rock star. Hey, thank you, everybody. We're out.
Peace.